Hey there guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another Modern Warfare video on the channel. Of course, this game is wrapping up and it's concluding very soon, of course, when Cold War does come out. But we're looking at three of the best weapons that are completely underrated, basically never used by literally anybody in this game. Some of my absolute favorite weapons in this game, but they just get no love because they're not some of the best in the game right now. Just before we do get into our top three here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned. And we are very close to 3,200 subscribers, which is very exciting. And I really do appreciate all the support from you guys. It means an awful lot to me to see you guys constantly subscribing, leaving comments, liking the videos and stuff like that. As I said, it really does mean a lot. So let's just jump straight into our top 3 underrated guns list in Modern Warfare right now. Alrighty, so the first gun on our list is the Holger 26, which many of you may know as a weapon that is literally terrible, but when you do slap on those 30 round mags, essentially you get the G36C, which is a really nice option in this game. I'm probably the #1 Holger 26 fan in the world. I mean, I'm probably the only person who has ever used this weapon since it came out. Like, when it did come out, people were like, oh, okay, it's kind of good, but we moved on pretty quickly as there were better options in this game. But essentially with the right attachments, you can move around very quickly, get a decent aim down side speed, pull up those shots with very easy to control recoil due to the LMG category, and for the most part have a really fun time with this particular weapon. As for our attachments, as I said previously, we're looking for those decent ranges, that fast aim down side speed, so starting off with that monolithic suppressor, essentially giving us that extended damage range as well as an increase to our bullet velocity as well, and that sound suppression means we can play a little bit more stealthily, move around the map a lot easier. In the laser slot, we do want that tac laser for that aim down side speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. This is a really nice option for getting those sights up nice and quickly, and for whatever reason, I think this is still broken. Like, I don't think enemies can actually see your tac laser. I don't know what the go is with this. I mean, you can see a 5mm laser, but you can't see a tac laser, even though it does say that the laser is visible to enemies. So while this still works, the tac laser is a very good option in this game to help control that recoil, which is a little bit prevalent. I mean, it's not too severe, but this is just a nice addition with the Commando foregrip to hold that recoil stabilization. That horizontal recoil brings it very nicely into line and means it's very easy for us to hit our shots here. This weapon does lack a larger barrel option. We've only got aim down sight speed here, which is not ideal for this type of weapon, but with what we've got here in these 30 round mags as well, with that aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and reload quickness with a reload time of about 1.8 seconds, we really turn this into an assault rifle, and we don't really need that extra barrel. Like, it's a little bit of a sad option to not have, but I mean, we can do fine work with this without it. Then the stipple grip tape, of course, the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, a really nice option in this game. Getting those sights up nice and quickly, as we already talked about, is super important here. As I said, if you've not tried out the Holger 26, these particular attachments, maybe wait until a double XP weekend or jump into a players with 2 times weapon XP. Level this up with all the attachments and try this out. It's a very fun sort of LMG assault rifle hybrid, which is a really fun option in this game, and was the original variety of that sort of changing that larger ammo capacity on an LMG. This was the original from the Bruen MK9. Then moving to a weapon that really nobody uses in the FR556. I mean, the 3 burst weapons in these games are always used by somebody, of course. Sometimes they're just your favorite weapon in the game, but the mainstream audience typically does steer clear of them unless they are absolutely broken. Like, the M16 in COD 4 was absolutely busted. It was like a 2-shot kill on a 3 burst weapon, which is pretty ridiculous. So people don't typically use these weapons unless they are absolutely broken, but the FR556 is a really nice weapon in this game still. You can still get 1 burst kills out to about 20-ish meters or so with the attachments that we've got set up here, but for the most part you'll be looking at 2 bursts, which is not too bad, especially when you've got a fair bit of time, like sitting up in buildings and stuff like that, to shoot down on people and get easy kills. As for our attachments, we are taking that monolithic suppressor as usual with that sound suppression and that damage range. Sometimes this is not necessary and you can change this out for like a recoil controlling attachment or more aim down sight speed, so this is one of the options that's up to you. Then the barrel that you need is of course the sniper barrel for that damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. Essentially giving us the maximum 1-shot kill range, or the 1 burst kill range that we can get, is a really nice option here. Essentially meaning we can sort of pick people off, as it says, with a sniper style barrel. Then the tac laser, of course, for that aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. It's all about getting those sights up nice and quickly and being able to hit our shots very easily here. So that aiming stability and aim walking steadiness does actually reduce our idle sway, meaning we can actually hit these shots more accurately, and it does actually affect our recoil slightly, as well as having a nice bonus to our aim down sight speed. Then of course the Geo Mini Reflex, which makes it very easy for us to hit our shots with a very nice clear sight picture. Pretty much you just pull this up, aim at someone and blast them away, and you'll get a 1 to 2 burst kill very easily. Then the stipple grip tape, of course, you're going to hear this a lot in these videos. Aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, get those sights up nice and quickly is a fantastic option in this game. And that's all we're really after with this particular class, to get those sights up nice and quickly, be accurate, get those bursts on target, hitting all 3 bullets in the actual burst itself, and rack up those kills. I mean, you can do some serious work with the FR556 if this is your style of weapon. I mean, definitely people are drawn to these sometimes because they are very powerful usually, but This one is not the most powerful weapon in the game, but if you do like these 3 burst weapons, you can have a lot of fun with it still. And then lastly, something a little bit different. If you do see a shotgun on one of these lists, normally you'd be like, well, surely this is overused as hell, but a lot of people don't really talk about the Model 680 being one of the best shotguns, or maybe even the best shotgun in the game if you are being accurate. I mean, it is not as easy to use as some of the other shotguns. It's not like a Jak 12 or a VLK Rogue where you can just run around, close your eyes, and just spray people down until the end of time. You do actually have to be quite accurate with this, which is interesting for a shotgun for sure. But essentially, you get a one-shot kill range if you do aim down sight of about 20 meters or so, which for a shotgun is absolutely ridiculous. For our attachments here, we are looking at extending out our damage range and giving us a tighter pellet spread, and we start with the choke here in that regard, giving us that tighter pellet spread and that damage range as well. You do combine this with our barrel option in the XRK 18-inch Liberator barrel. Again, that damage range and that tighter pellet spread, we use this over the Sport barrel, as this does reduce our movement speed and aim down sight speed significantly, so that's not really worth it. Like, I think it's a 3-frame increase to our aim down sight speed, which is not worth it at all. So the Liberator does give us a decent amount of damage range and tightening up that pellet spread nicely with the choke, but not reducing our movement speed, so that's a really, really nice option here. Plus, we did get our shotguns platinum recently, which is really, really nice to look at. Very, very shiny option in this game. Then, of course, you want that 5 mW laser. I know we talked about aim down sight speed being super important here, but that hip fire accuracy does serve us quite well as well. And that sprint to fire speed, being able to get those sights up nice and quickly as we are sprinting around the map, moving everywhere, is really, really nice here. But sometimes you can just get away with hip firing people and it's not a problem. But for the most part, as I said, we want to be aiming down sight here. Then, of course, that no stock as well for that aim down sight speed, movement speed. Recoil control losses from this particular attachment are not significant here at all. We do not really care about recoil control, as the weapon does sort of recenter itself before you can fire a second shot anyway. Plus, if you do need a second shot for the most part at those sort of, if you are fighting outside of its one-shot kill distance, you're probably going to die anyway, so it's really not worth fighting at those distances. So just sort of close the distance with this faster movement speed is really, really nice here. And then, of course, lastly, the XRK True Grip Tactical, which does give us that recoil control and aim down sight speed, of course. Recoil control, as I said, is not significant at all. It does reduce our movement speed, but that aim down sight speed increase is one of the best options that we can go with in this particular slot here. As for the most part, we can just get our sights up nice and quickly and hit our shots with this. Does make sure we can hit those tighter pellet spread shots. And for the most part, getting these sights up is all we're really concerned about, getting those shots on target and doing as much damage as possible at those medium to longer distances, which is about 20 meters or so, which I said before. Of course, this might actually be one of the best shotgun classes in the game, but I don't see a lot of people using this style of class setup. Mostly people are just running around with like a Jak 12 or something like that and just blasting people away, closing their eyes and having an excellent time. So you do have to be fairly accurate with this particular shotgun class, which is kind of interesting, and it's not the usual class setup that you would expect for a shotgun, but it is definitely one of the most underrated but best class setups in the game. Anyway, guys, that does wrap this one up here. These have been 3 of my favorite class setups in this game that are completely underrated by loads of people. Nobody uses the Holger 26. You really never see the FR556. And when you do see the Model 680, a lot of the time it's just people sprinting around and hip firing it, which is not ideal for that style of weapon. But you can still have a fantastic time with each of these particular weapons, and if you haven't tried them at all, go out and try them, go unlock them, and have an absolute ball with these weapons, because they are absolutely fantastic. Anyway, guys, as I said previously, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it massively, of course. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already done so. It does very much help me out, and I really, really appreciate all of you subscribing all the time. I do massively appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!